Nebrija University was created with the purpose of providing value to the society to which it belongs. How? First, by providing our students with an education that allows them to become the best professionals and the best people they can be. Second, by firmly committing to research in order to advance the knowledge needed by any society. The Nebrija model is based on the personalization of education and on high academic standards. Our students learn by doing, are taught in an international environment, and are invited to complete their studies abroad. In addition, they acquire transversal competences that prepare them for a world that is constantly changing. This combination, along with our institution's strong ties to the business world, is the key to our graduates' high employability. Nebrija University is a private, humanistic, and plural institution which has an established background and over 30,000 graduates. Its main activity takes place in the center of Madrid, with several campuses strategically located in emblematic buildings. At Nebrija, we strive to innovate programs and to have the best professors. This effort has been recognized by prestigious rankings. Nebrija's hybrid attendance model represents a true technological, but especially methodological and cultural transformation, which has earned us numerous awards and allows the quality of our teaching to extend outside our classrooms. Our ecosystem of excellence is rounded off by the Antonio de Nebrija Foundation, which focuses on promoting relations between the university and business, the Nebrija residences and their varied offer of housing solutions, the groundbreaking Nebrija Business and Technology School, and the Nebrija Institutes, of which the doyen is the Center for Hispanic Studies, which has taught thousands of students from all over the world to speak our language over the last decades. In short, Nebrija's entire project was founded and is built every day around quality and innovation. We work with determination to be a key player, an engine that transmits our passion for knowledge and undertaking new projects to society as a whole.
Great. Welcome everybody to this webinar that you joined to hear more about the programs of Nebrija University, as you just saw in the introduction. This today, especially about cultural management, education, and applied languages. Before we go over to the presenters to present these programs and Nebrija University, first a couple of things to make sure that all is clear for you and how to interact with us. So my name is Luc Mulling. I'm the moderator of today. And basically, we have options to, well, first of all, to say hi in the chat, as I see some people already did. Great to see. And that we're logging in from different countries. Great to see that. Now, if you have any questions, please, by all means, let us know. You can do that in the box called questions at the right bottom. There you can write them, and we will be answering them, hopefully, at the end of the session. Also, we have an option for polling questions. So I will be opening up a couple of questions to you, just to get to know you a little bit better. And that will be throughout the session. And last but not least, we also have a little fun button to make it even more interactive. And at the bottom of the screen, we'll be opening there the emoticon option. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. I already see people are found it. Great to see. Some of those positive vibes, and that's just for the speakers as well to make it more fun and engaging. So talking about the speakers, let's go over to them, because we have 3 speakers lined up for you. First of all, Salome Yusevian, and she will introduce the other speakers to you. So over to the speakers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luke. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Nebrija University. I'm the Director of International Development Department of Nebrija University. It is a pleasure for me to start this table with a presentation by Cristina Casado, is the Director of the Bachelor of Learning Applied Modern Languages. She earned her degree in English Philology from the University of León and completed her Master's in Spanish Language and Literature at the State University of New York at Buffalo. She later obtained her PhD in Literature, Language, and Culture of the Iberian Peninsula and the Americas at the University of North Carolina, Susana. For the last 25 years, she has been teaching university level courses in both Spanish and English. Cristina, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Salome, and thank you very much, everyone, for being here today with us. Today, I am going to talk about um, languages, language learning, but I prefer to call it choosing your own adventure and unlock your future through it. So let's start with it. Um, I'm sure that right now you feel like you are standing at the crossroads of endless opportunities. Let me tell you something. Language is your magical key to a more connected life, or something that can unlock a very nice and rich future for you. So let me walk you through this journey, through your adventure. Um, I don't know if you're aware that you have cognitive benefits if you study languages. For instance, you are going to be better at problem solving, at critical thinking, at multitasking, because your brain is working harder. So you will be better at things like flexibility or creativity. Also, learning languages is going to improve your memory. You are going to have a strong recall, um, a strong recall, sorry, and you are going to be better protecting yourselves against cognitive decline when you compare it with monolingual people. And people who learn languages in general have a better academic performance in fields like math, in reading comprehension, and in many others. Of course, you are going to have more empathy to work towards other cultures. You are going to be more curious and interested to learn about how others live and how they think, which is going to make you more open-minded, and that will allow you to build meaningful global friendships and networking. And of course, that will transform your travel because you will be able to interact at a more deeper level with locals, and you will be able to navigate different situations more easily. And of course, your confidence will be boosted because you're going to be able to overcome challenges and to deal with situations in a language that is not yours, which is going to strengthen your character. And people who study languages are into a lifelong learning, which is going to make you really adaptable people. And that's really valuable in this world we are living in nowadays. Of course, this is going to unlock many, many career opportunities for you because multilingual skills are in demand worldwide. So pick your quest. Do you want to pick the quest of English? English is the lingua franca nowadays. It's the global language for business, for research, for technology. Um, Spanish. Spanish is key for emerging markets nowadays, especially when we talk about American countries or some African countries. It's the United Nations, which is the European nations. It's the European Union language. It's going to help you to find a job if you're interested in NGOs, non-governmental institutions. What about German? Again, it's a key language in the European Union, and especially if you want to work in industries like engineering, in pharmaceuticals, in automotive. French. What about if you want to work in diplomacy and culture and art? And again, we are talking about a widely spoken language in the European Union and worldwide in some parts of Africa as well. And of course, if you are interested in global trade and technology nowadays, learning Chinese is something that you need to consider. And I have another question for you. Why not all of them? Of course, you can pick different roles. You have different job opportunities, and these are not the only ones. I'm just giving you some examples so you have a good idea of the different paths to take in this adventure. If you feel like teaching or dedicating yourselves to education, of course, you can be a language teacher, which is one of the most well-known jobs for graduates from languages, but not the only one. But just so you know, English as a second language is very in demand worldwide. You can also work as a study abroad coordinator, and you can help students, international students, to adapt to a new country, a new environment, helping them with getting visas, with paperwork, things like that. But what about translation and interpretation? If you decide to be a translator, you will be transferring the same document from one language to another, or if you prefer to have a face-to-face situation, then you can go into interpretation and you can do it in official situations like courtrooms, conferences, or United Nations. If you prefer to work in international business and diplomacy, if you want to represent your country's interests at an international level, you can go through the foreign service and become an officer. Or if your interests align with international aid or development worker, people who speak several languages are very in demand in those fields as well. When it comes to technology and research, of course, you can become one example is to be a localization specialist in which you will be working adapting apps or websites to different cultural and linguistic markets. And also you can be an academic researcher and you can work in the fields of linguistics, cultural studies, or literature. But you can also go into the government and military because languages are very in demand also to be an intelligence analyst or a military linguist. So, of course, you're going to need tools for your journey. So, you're going to have to speak with your team. We want you to practice with your peers. You are going to use apps and tools. And we also want you to immerse yourself, to dive into cultural experiences. I want to speak to you very briefly about what we do when we teach languages, because things have changed a lot in the last few years. We focus in our students, and I'm not going to devote a lot of time there because my colleague Steve Jenkins is going to talk to you about collaborative learning and communicative methods, but likes to talk most of the time. We focus on you. Forget about doing sentences and repeating. No, we don't do that anymore. We incorporate content that speaks to you. We like to watch movies with you. We like to take you to different events outside the classroom. We like to use music, art, anything that can be relatable for you, and anything that can increase your interest in learning the language and other cultures. Of course, we use the digital tools as well, as I said, and multimedia resources. But the thing that I want to stress is that in our classes, we want to foster a supportive environment for you. And we create a culture of inclusion, meaning that we want you to feel safe in class. We want you to understand from the beginning that this is a place to make mistakes. This is a place in which you have to be comfortable, where you are going to develop a sense of community with all your peers and also with us, because you're there to learn. So you need to make mistakes. And we want you to make mistakes. And also because we also promote a culture of peer learning, because we believe that you can learn from us, you can learn from all the tools I'm describing, but you can also learn from one another. So we put a lot of emphasis in different activities, in different moments in which you share your own experience, your own expertise, and your own culture to help each other. And of course, we focus in teaching you what you need to learn, because we need you to reach a certain level, to go to a certain place in order to be prepared when you finally go into the world. And of course, we are more than happy, and we always do, give you regular assessment and regular feedback. We are always in constant communication with you about how you do things. This is the way that we accompany you in your adventure, your journey. So, just to summarize all these things I'm trying to do today, I would like to stress that in studying languages, it's not only about communication skills, which is a lot, but hey, you're going to enhance your cognitive abilities. You are going to improve your cultural understanding. Of course, you are going to improve your career prospects. You are going to enjoy traveling much better. And it's going to be also personal growth for you. And all these benefits collectively are going to contribute to form great individuals in this interconnected and global society that we are living in, and we will be empathetic citizens of the world. So I would like to invite you to start this adventure and to step into this new chapter, to choose your languages, to chart your courses, and to unlock the magic key of language, all these treasures of a world without borders. So I wanted to invite you to take this first. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, Christina. It was a very, very nice chat, and thank you for sharing with us your knowledge and your experiences. So now we would like to give it to Stephen. Dr. Stephen Jenkins is the director of the Masters in Bilingual Education at Nebrija University. For the last 30 years, he has been involved in language training within the corporate sector, also in Spanish schools for foreigners. He has authored several publications in the conversation on effective communication in English, and he's a regular speaker at the International Congress of Bilingual Education. Then,
Thank you. One moment. Um, okay, I need to go back. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you, Christina. So I'm going to continue to talk about language learning, but I'm going to talk specifically about the focus that we have in communication in all our language teaching, and within the context of the Master in Bilingual Education, which I'm director in Nebrija. So starting off with, I wanted to ask a question: what are the aims of a Master in Bilingual Education? Why do we have them? Well, obviously, one of the main aims is to provide teacher training to future teachers and to future students. But is the Master really all about its study plan? We have a very extensive study plan, I think, which embraces all aspects of bilingualism, some of which is clearly teacher training, and some of which are related to issues of bilingualism in general. But I think if we had to define what we're really about, I think it's the final phrase on that slide, which is communicative skills. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the main bilingual methodologies, certainly in Spain and across Europe, which is CLIL. I'm not going to give a 30-second summary of CLIL. Well, I am actually. CLIL stands for Content Language Integrated Learning. And what this is basically is using English to teach other subjects. So when we're getting into bilingual education, when we're not talking about English teaching in itself. What we're really talking about is learning how to use English to teach other subjects, whether that's biology, geography, history, maths, or whatever. So what we're effectively doing is we're learning a subject. We're also learning to improve our communicative skills in English. Now, we have two whole subjects on this in the master. But what I really want to focus on is the fact this is fundamentally communicative. This is not about improving students' grammatical scores, and this is really about producing students and teachers who are going to be genuinely effective communicators. So it has to be student-centered. As Christina said, we really want you to talk. And if you're training to become a bilingual teacher with us, we want you to train your students to talk. And we want you to train them to be effective communicators. So this basically means what I call a focus on performance. What does that mean? Well, I think it goes back a little bit to the heading of this slide, which is about, are we teaching skills or are we teaching knowledge? Are they the same thing? Well, not really. I've put a pyramid there called the Bloom's taxonomy, and Bloom basically created a hierarchy of intellectual skills. And if we look at that, right at the bottom, the least, or the most basic intellectual skill is actually remembering things, and then hopefully understanding. And so much traditional education, and this varies from culture to culture, it really is focused on that bottom part of the pyramid. And what we're really interested in is getting to the top part of the pyramid, where it says create. And what we want you to do is to create communication, to create communicative skills. And that means thinking not about what you're saying and how you're constructing sentences. It's about how well you do this. It's about the skill with which you communicate. So what would that actually mean? Well, accuracy in terms of grammar accuracy is very important. But that's probably not going to be the fundamental factor that makes you a good communicator, your ability to use the present perfect. Intelligibility. Can people actually understand what you're saying? And can you understand them? I think that's actually a little bit more important than using the present perfect, the present perfect continuous. And then I put some French there just to show that we're multilingual. Savoir, knowing, savoir faire, knowing how to do, and savoir être, apologies for my bad French accent, which is knowing how to be. And I think those are three scales of communication: knowing stuff, knowing how to use stuff, and actually knowing how to be comfortable using stuff. And that's what we're really talking about when we're talking about effective communication. How good are you at doing using the language that you've learned? How well can you perform with it? I've actually put a link to an article there, very honestly. So this is the challenge, to try to be intelligible, to try to be dynamic. We don't just want people to understand us if we're going to be future global citizens. What we really want is people to be impressed by our ability to communicate our ideas and what we want to see. And remember, 80% of all English used in the world is between non-natives. Okay, I'm in a global minority as a native English speaker. So we're not talking about perfecting a native accent, whatever that means anymore. We're talking about being intelligent, being expressive, and being dynamic. If you're a student, and if you're a teacher, and some of you are already native English speakers, then it's about demanding these things from your students. It's about focusing on how intelligible, how expressive, and how dynamic they are. So this is a very, very quick summary of some of the issues that we might look at. If you would look at our study plan, you'll see a whole range of subjects on the master, as you would in the Green Modern Languages. These are not subjects in themselves. These are things that we are constantly examining while we're teaching other things. And it's at the heart of clear methodology. It's about the things we're focusing on as we're learning other things through language. So a very basic thing would be volume and eye contact. We don't want you to be extrovert and interesting in your own language and then suddenly shrink and become timid and start looking at your feet or looking at your hands. We want you to be able to speak, in this case, English. We want you to be able to speak it confidently and clearly as you would your own language. And that requires paying some attention not only to the quality of how you construct sentences, but how well you deliver them. And pronunciation becomes a fundamental factor here. Probably the most neglected area of language teaching. So I think we need to have some knowledge of phonetics. We have to understand how English has different syllable stress, different intonation. And if we want to become really good communicators, we need to focus on the rhythm of our speech, on how our syllables are expressed in relation to one another. And this is a fundamental skill in presentations, but it's a fundamental part of normal English speech. So avoid eye contact. Yes, look at people when you use English. Don't be shy. We're in a global economy. You can't be shy. There's no room to be shy anymore. And make sure people can hear us when we're speaking. Okay? I'm not going to explain the phonetical chart, but it's our friend. And we can learn this very, very quickly. If you're a teacher or a student, if you spend a few hours learning and using this, it's going to transform your English far more than large range of grammatical exercises. And then if we're going to just learn one sound, then it should be our friend the schwa, which I'm sure you all know is the sound. And that sound is actually the most important sound in the English language because it allows us to give stronger words a weaker form, which gives English its specific rhythm. If you're a little bit confused, don't worry. I'm just presenting the ideas. But remember that friend of ours, schwa. You'll find it everywhere. Rhythm of speech. I'm sure we have a vast range I'm sure we have a lot of languages here. I just want to compare English and Spanish very quickly. Spanish has a beautiful constant rhythm of equal syllable stress. English doesn't. English stresses some words much more than others. I just did it then. Much more than others. If we apply our natural stress to English, we won't be dynamic. Our presentations won't be dynamic. They won't be intelligible. And it's important to understand that this emphasis on rhythm and the way English works rhythmically is something that's fundamentally part of our language. And if we want to be expressive and we want to be communicative, then we need to learn how to use this, and our teachers have to help us. I'm not sure how we have the time, but we have a couple of minutes, I think. So, what else can we speak about? Well, another thing we might want to think about is intonation. English has a different intonation to other languages. It goes up, down. It doesn't go up with questions automatically. I wish I could just, well, I can. I can tell you all this. English does not automatically go up at the end of a sentence. But we do use intonation to express ourselves. We use intonation to signal that we're finishing a sentence. Low intonation, and we use it to signal that it's someone else's turn to speak, which is a classic English conversational mechanism. So, obviously, it's outside the remit of a presentation today to give a crash course on English pronunciation. But what I really wanted to communicate to you is that when we're talking about language learning and we're talking about bilingual education, we're really talking about skills rather than knowledge. We need knowledge, we need those bricks, we need the grammatical bricks to build phrases, but what we're really interested in is helping students and teachers to perform well in English, to be dynamic, to be communicative. It's the difference between knowledge and skills. And I think if you combine knowledge and skills, then you're basically providing training. That's what it's all about. So I actually illustrated that with a photograph of Didier Drogba because I support Chelsea. That's the only reason. So basically my message is this. It's all about the underlying thing in everything we do is to help you become better communicators. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Stephen. It was a very, very nice and interesting presentation. Okay, thank you for your attention. So now it's time to have a general insight about Nebrija University. Nebrija University is a private university in Madrid with 35 years of experience. It's called after Antonio de Nebrija, the one who wrote the first grammar in 1942. So we are so proud of our history and the relationship with languages and education. Nebrija University, just check 1 second, please. So, sorry. We have, according to different rankings and international recognitions, according to QS Stars International Ranking, we have 5 stars in teaching, thanks for beautiful teachers, employability, internationalization, online teaching, and inclusiveness. According to Eurankings 2022, Nebrija University is the second university in Spain in teaching among all the universities. And according to Forbes, we are the fifth best university among the private universities in Spain. So one of the reasons that we appear in the best recognitions and rankings is the employability. As you can see here, the 91% of our students after finalizing their bachelor program enter the labor market, and this percentage goes up to 93% for the students of masters. So this is very positive about, let's say, the relationship between the university and the labor market and employability. Okay, we are based in Madrid with, Madrid is the capital of Spain. It's a very safe city for students. Actually, it's a university, a city, and the last years has become the hub of different universities in whole Spain. Apart from the city, you can see a lot of different nationalities in this city. You have a lot of options. If you are interested in culture, if you're interested in food like me, if you're interested in different entertainment, so Madrid as well, it is good to know that you can have different excursions or trips around Spain because it is very well located, and the whole Europe if you're interested in, let's say, international experience and travel around Europe as well. Okay, so we have different reasons to be, let's say, proud of what we are doing and do our best to give the best out of our programs. We have more than 20 bachelor degrees, more than 50 master's degrees, and some PhDs. As I mentioned before, all our programs are accompanied by internships. We have more than 2,000 agreements with different companies and institutions, and also the relationship between the employability and the university is very, very close. Four campuses in Madrid. The Faculty of Languages and Education is in a campus in the north of Madrid. From the heart of the city is 25 minutes by public transport. We have other 3 campuses, and also we have some administrative and, let's say, academic support offices in Latin America. So we have 2 offices in Colombia, 1 office in Peru, and 1 office in Brazil. As I mentioned previously, we started all our activities with Spanish language teaching. That's why we have 2 institutes. They are medical institutes in China and in the for Spanish language teaching, and also we have some private centers in Italy, Greece, Brazil, Morocco, for Spanish language courses as well. How is the structure of the university? We have 6 schools of faculty: School of Languages and Education, Communication and Arts, Economics and Business, Law and International Relations, Higher Polytechnic School, Life and Nature Science, and as I mentioned before, the Center for Spanish Studies. As you can imagine, the program that leads Cristina, which is the master program for applying modern languages, belongs to the School of Languages and Education. With other programs, which delivered in Spanish. So it's a very, let's say, good plus to have a program that in the faculty, which is 100% in English, and also gives you the ability to learn the languages, as Christina mentioned. And let's be honest, she seduced me to do this master's when I find the time. It happens the same in the master's program. So the master that is Stephen teaches the master's in bilingual teaching again is the only master delivered in English other program of the School of Languages and Education. And I'm going to say it's one of the most, let's say, innovative and well-positioned program bilingual teaching in the whole university in Spain. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We have talked about internationalization. My colleagues have talked about let's say, positive points of learning languages. So we want also our students to have other possibilities. One of them is, of course, the international stage. That's why we have more than 400 agreements with different universities around the world. As you can see here, we have agreements with the whole five continents. So the students of bachelor's in applied modern languages in the third year can have an international stay, or by the Erasmus agreements, or by exchange and study abroad. Choose among the 400 universities that we have agreements with in order to the international stay. Also, it happens with the master's program. So in students program, you have the possibility to do the possibilities are very vast. Good. Why Nebrija University? Why Nebrija could be a good option in order to explore, let's say, the international context and do your studies abroad? We have some different reasons. One of them, as I mentioned before, is the employability and career orientation. We offer 100% to all of our students. We offer internships. They are mandatory for the master program. So with the 12,000 agreements that I mentioned before, with different institutions, the students have the possibility to do their internships, not just in Spain, but also abroad. So this is a very good point about internship as well. Another part is the academic excellence. As you may have felt now with Christina and Steven's speech, we have a very good relationship between professor, teacher, and students. It's not Christina and Steven were mentioning before that the tradition has vanished, so you can see close groups, small groups, personalized teaching, personalized attention to each student. This, let's say, approach between the professor and the student is close, and the teachers are available for any problem, for any idea or any solution, and also all the teachers help students to get the key figures in order to contact the academic and the professional world. The other the point, as I mentioned before, is the internationalization. We have in bachelor programs, 25% of our students are international. In the master's program, it's 40%. In total, we have students from 47 different countries, between 45 to 47 different countries. But not just these, the international students. As you have noticed, we also, the staff and the professors are international. And one very positive and maybe different point about the university is in our lesson plan, and they can correct me if I'm wrong, we have designed our lesson plan so that not just local students, also international students could get the best out of it. So if you are from anywhere in the world and you do the bachelor's in modern languages or the master's in bilingual teaching, and if your desire is go back to your country and stick to your country, you go back with international knowledge and you go with, let's say, um, studies that can help you to serve your country and make it better. So that is a very good point. And also pedagogical innovation. So we force creativity, entrepreneurship, and interaction within the university across various sectors, depending on the program. Later, we'll see some examples of the sectors that we work with in the Faculty of Languages and Education. But here in the Nebrija Employability, you can see some examples such as jargon, Sony Music, Telefonica, and so on. Also, we work with some startups for young students in order to help them and let's say implement our practical methodology, because as we mentioned before, our method is learning by doing, not just theory, to know to learn how to do. Okay, we have talked about the university as a whole. Now I would like to talk a little bit and about the positive and strong points of the Faculty of Languages and Education. One of the most important things about this school is the global engagement. We are members of the Bilingual Education Association and we collaborate with numerous international schools such as Montessori College. I'm sure it sounds familiar to you. British School of Cali, International School of Rimini, International School of Colbert, British Council, Bristol College, and English. Also, we work with some organizations such as Cambridge Assessment and some publishers such as Madrid. Another positive point about the School of Languages and Education is that our professors make opportunities within the collaboration that we have with other institutions. We can have an example of the Foundation, FA agency, the target audience is the languages, foundation, and education, so the students can explore the work of the foundation in promoting Spanish language, learn about the daily operations of the news agency, and the professional opportunities available in this field. Another example would be the publishing sector. For example, we have very good cooperation with Difusión, which is a very, very important publisher in Spain, and the students can discover the publishing industry and the career opportunities that it offers. Another example is the embassy of an English-speaking country, where the students can learn about the investigation functions, career opportunities, scholarships, and the culture and the new features of the country. And last but not least, also we have collaborations with British Council, Goethe Institute, French Institute, institutes you the work, you can learn different languages. Christina was suggesting, so the students can gain insight into alternative foreign language teaching methodologies as well. And apart from the cooperations with different institutions, in the faculty we have a lot of different activities. We have seminars, workshops, let's say activities with alumni and so on. We can mention, for example, the academic workshops that we offer, which prepare the students with essential skills in academic writing, including strategies, academic style, and data presentation. Also, we offer creative writing workshops, which help the students with creativity and writing skills. And the oral presentation workshop, Stephen was talking about the importance of communication. So this workshop, for example, helps students for effective for an oral presentation and provide them with the tools to succeed in public speaking. Okay. Let's say you decide to do a program in Spain. If you have an at the Nebrija University, very concrete questions. Of course, we will answer them now in the questions and answers. I would like to tell you that also we have accommodation for buildings in total 470 shared and private rooms with all the facilities, library, chill out, TV room, gym, a beautiful yard with students from Spain and all parts of the world. So if the students are interested in having the accommodation with us, then that would be possible. I won't talk about the admission process today because the idea was having this first approach, but as you can see here, the international DPT and outside Nebrija.es is the email that you can use in order to send us an email as part of this session. We are available, the international department, and I'm sure my colleagues will support me as well. If you're interested in having interviews with the directors of the program, if you want to know more about the program, you will have the possibility. Thank you very, very much. It was very nice meeting you virtually, and we are open for any questions. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Salome. I think indeed we went a bit faster through the last part, but yeah, I appreciate it as we are running towards the hour, and I see some people had to leave already, so that's good that we still want to make sure we answer some questions. So thanks a lot. We did already receive some questions. Before I go over to them, one quick important point as well is that for the people watching the recording, because I know a lot of people do these days, you can still participate as well. So you can answer polls when you're watching this as well. And also you can still write questions, actually. We cannot answer them, of course, live, but we can send them through to the staff of Nebrija University. So they will still all get your questions and feedback. All right, let's go over to some of the questions. I'm going to read it out. So we had a question from Tracy to start with. She wants to study a Bachelor of Science. Do I need a visa from Canada, was her question. What can you say about that?
From Canada, yes. And for the first 3 months, the students can come to Spain without a visa. So as a tourist, they can apply for the visa here in Spain. But in order to do a bachelor program, then they need, or a master's, then they need a visa, the student visa.
Student visa, okay. Good. Thank you. Question from Aonyebuku, if I say that right. I'm sorry if it's not completely right. Question is it possible to apply to humanitarian scholarship of some sorts in Europe? Do you know something about that?
Well, in our case, in Nebrija University, we offer different kinds of scholarships to our international students. I'm not sure if I've heard about the humanitarian scholarships in Europe, but I can send the information about the scholarships that we have for our students.
Okay, great. Yeah, so please do, so get in touch. I do want to mention also, we have a link, by the way. If you go to the bottom of the screen, click on apps. There you can find a link section where you can also find information of the page on screen. I'm going to put it on the screen actually in a second, so you will be clear and you can go to the website from the School of Languages and Education. Now, before I do that, let's go over to the next question. Kesh is asking, I need guidance on how to go about the application. Well, I think you went through that. Otherwise, let us know, Kesh, if you still need more information about that. Begat has a question. Is it all on campus or is it also possible online?
Yeah, good news.
Yes, the Master in Bilingual Education is online, so it's open to anyone in the world. And we have a very extensive international group of students, which makes it even more interesting because we have different perspectives on culture and education. So yeah, definitely online.
For the bachelor's degree at the moment, it's only in person, but we have the intention and we hope we can expand it to an online program as well. But right now it's in person, but come to Madrid. It's a nice place. It is.
Okay, thank you. That is good news. So I hope that is also, yeah, making the persons in Begat and others happy about that. So thank you. And yeah, so we're getting the thumbs up. So I think they are happy about that part. Good. Next question, Sava. I want to study English. Do I need a minimum of English level?
It's B2. The minimum level is B2.
B2. Okay.
For example, if they want to study applied modern languages, the bachelor's in applied modern languages or the master's in bilingual teaching, the minimum level is B2. But don't worry, because we have a language institute, so we prepare also our students for their English levels, so they can do all the admission process and in English after the test without it.
Okay. Thank you. Hope that clarified that. Let's see even the next question. Praise. Is the university open for scholarships? So I think there was something said about that, but do you want to add something about scholarships?
I will send the information about the different types of scholarships that we have. But of course, well, the objective is the internationalization of higher education and expand or let's say exchange the knowledge around the world. So of course, we help students to come to Madrid or also social life and have this experience. So we will help them with different possibilities of scholarship.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. That was all answered. Question from Alexandra. Can I receive the presentation and also the link to the admissions, please? So yeah, so the admissions link, first of all, I'm going to put it now clearly on the screen. Right there, you see it. It left bottom, it got in. So if you click on that, it will open up the website from the School of Languages and Education. Actually, there is also an admission test I learned, and I believe I have the link from that as well. There you go in the middle. So I think there's an admission test from Nebrija. Is that correct, Salome?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. So there it is on the screen as well. So you can, at your own pace, read about that when you're disconnecting from the session. About the presentation slides that you actually also asked that. Well, I think we are recording this session, so you will be able to watch everything again. So maybe that's an easier way. So you can all watch it again. I also saw some people had to leave, and actually some people came later. So we have been recording this. If you joined late, then you can actually stay on. It will start within minutes. You can restart and watch it from the beginning. Yeah, so I hope that helps in that regard. I see no further questions in the question tab. So do take advantage. If you still have a question, we have a couple of minutes left. I see a question actually in the chat, so I'll take that. Titi, when is the applications open? When are they opening?
Well, we never close the application process actually. The application process starts each year in September, and It's finalized by July 31 because, you know, in Spain, the summer vacation is a month. So we are on the beach during August, but the rest of the year, the application is open. The only thing for students who need visa, they need to do the whole process in advance because the Spanish embassy manages another time, so we can compromise Spanish embassy. Let's say for international students, normally we receive the applications from September until end of June, approximately. Okay.
Okay. Hope that answered that. Okay, so I already see a thank you. So that's good to see. I think those were the last questions. Let me triple check to make sure. Yeah, those questions were all answered. Yeah, so those were the questions we've received so far. And thanks everyone as well for their feedback via the polls. So by all means, let us know before you leave. Yeah, I think if there are no further questions at this stage, then I guess everything is clear. So that's good. And then slowly we will round off the session. And well, maybe by saying from my side, first of all, the audience, thanks everyone for having joined. I saw people joining in from a lot of different countries, from Spain, but also Malaysia, United Arab Emirates. I saw Canada, Nigeria, China. So I forgot some, I'm sure, but we had a quite worldwide audience. So great to see everyone. Thanks for having joined us. And of course, thanks to the speakers for having joined us. And Salome, Christina, and Stephen, thanks for your time. I'm sure it's appreciated as well. And yeah, I don't see any further questions. So let's maybe finish by saying some last words from your end. Maybe Salome, you can wrap up the session, or any one of you.
Well, yeah, as master of the, sorry, as director of the Master in Bilingual Education, just to say we'd love to hear from you. Anyone interested in bilingual education, becoming a bilingual teacher, it'd be great to hear from you. And I'm sure Salome can give you all the details and things that you need to know in order to make that a reality. But yes, it would be great to see some of you again online.
Thank you very much for being with us today, and I'm sure Salome will be able to answer a lot of questions, but of course, I am happy to answer any other question you think that I can answer. So it's been a pleasure, and we hope to see you here, virtually or in person.
Thank you very much for your attention and see you soon. We are here, as my colleague said, for any question, doubt, or for a coffee in a few months at the corner. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.